Guys, we are live on YouTube as well. So those who want to join there can join there. Guys, we'll wait for a few more minutes. We'll start at 5:03 sharp. Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you so much, everyone, to join the session. We are so excited to start the session, and we are glad that you believed in Tuto to and confided in us that we can add another skill set to your skill set. Let me start with the introduction of Tuto. Tuto was formed for the sole purpose of creating a benchmark in learning and knowledge transfer, both online and offline. We believe that knowledge and learning are different from education system because one is very rigid and the other is free flowing. So Tutor is believed on community. Tutor is focused on building a community of eager learners and knowledge seekers equipped to face challenges without fear. So when we talk about fear, public speaking is one of the biggest fears a large number of population is facing today. So that's why Tuto came up with the event College Talks. So College Talk is a Tuto initiative in which we focus on public speaking skills of college students. What happened was Tuto noticed a large number of college students having difficulty in speaking in front of their own college students or own classmates or friends. So there were almost 80% of college students who had fear in speaking in front of their own classmates, and almost 90% people had fear in speaking in front of unknown faces. And that's really a large number. So public speaking is a skill that doesn't only increase your confidence, but also others confide in you, right? Also career wise, the skill is extremely important to be a leader and also to successfully carry your team. If you become a scientist, a doctor, an engineer, an architect, no matter, this particular skill is very essential for anyone and everyone. So, College Talks marks the launch of a wholesome public speaking program, and we are very happy and excited to have all of you participate and attend this session. And thank you so much. We are really excited to have all of you on board with us. So, first of all, I would introduce our two speakers for the day. So, first we have Fazila Fatima. Talking a few words about her, Fazila is an orator, an activist, a social media influencer, an artist, and a writer. And talking about her professional aspect, she is the co-founder of Boss Ladies Club. She is the co-founder of Youth Business Forum, and she also holds director and admin position in various several organizations too. Her articles have been published in her college magazine, Times of India, and the Hindu Junior Edition, and so much more. She has also written documentaries pertaining to social issues in India. She has been part of crisis management team at Agni Foundation during Chennai floods and Chennai storm also. And you know that Agni Foundation received a lot of national and international awards for their relentless services. And she actively participated in CAA protest also that happened in 2019 and 20. And then she is very active on social media, and people know her for her energetic greeting and beautiful smile, which you will be witnessing shortly. And her vision and mission is to reach out and empower the unprivileged and needy of the world. And then talking about our second speaker for the day is Sagar. Sagar is the founder of Tuto India and has vast experience with various startups. He was involved with a lot of education startups since he was in college, and many of which failed, like some of them failed, but many of them are stable and still functioning. So, learning at these startups about what works and what doesn't, he went on to start his own educational startup, Tuto. And talking about his personal aspects, he's a sports enthusiast, having his roots in tennis, football, and life saving. For him, sports was and is a major source of learning because it teaches you how to fail and get back up on your feet. You will always find him at the playground keeping the football out of the goal. And he's also a motivational speaker and strategist who likes to work his mind around problems and challenges and also sometimes chase them. And okay, all of you know very well that in India, education is forced by attendance and parents, So Tuto is a space which will enable you to learn various other skills like Photoshop, Illustrator, first aid, budgeting, negotiation, creative thinking, and so much more from the bottom of your heart. And a chartered accountant can learn designing, an engineer can learn money management, a doctor can learn public speaking, a designer can learn negotiation, all of that. So you choose what you want to add on your skill set, and your degree doesn't, And even the world is becoming more skill drawn. Yeah, your skills speak more than your degrees. So you can utilize our Tuto Learning Center, and we invite all of you to utilize our Tuto Learning Center, an online platform to learn, add on, adapt, and excel in life. Because first, you need to be proud of yourself before anyone else can be. So, with that being said, I would like to pass this on to Fazila, and she'll be carrying the workshop forward. Hope you have a great learning. Thanks.
Can people hear me now? We did not expect that. Can people hear us now? Can I get a thumbs up if people can hear me on YouTube? People can hear me on Google Meet, but people on YouTube cannot hear me. So can you confirm if you can hear me on YouTube? Okay, 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 okay. We're good to go. Very sorry about that. Google Meet viewers were able to hear me, but YouTube viewers could not. Can you please confirm? I want the YouTube viewers to confirm if you can see my video and audio. We are good to go? Okay, yes, we are good to go. Okay, I'm going to repeat again so that the YouTube viewers don't miss out on what I just started with. I am ready for whatever may come. And when the opportunity comes, I do not hit. It hits all by itself. Words of Lee Jun Fan. If you do not recognize that name, ladies and gentlemen, that's Bruce Lee's words. Today, we are going to become the Bruce Lees of public speaking. Now, each and every single one of you here have come with the interest, passion, and desire for public speaking, but feel your lack self confidence probably, or wondering how to what kind of content you all can talk, how do you put up with people with bad comments. I will tell you how. But before that, I am going to ask you to empty your cups first. Empty your cups first. I'll tell you why. It's a Chinese traditional story. Why? A conversation between Tokusan, a scholar, and Ryutan, a Zen master. Now, Tokusan wanted to gain knowledge from Ryutan and become a Zen master himself. So, Ryutan thinks, what better way can I teach him than calling him for tea? So, he calls him for tea and starts pouring into the cup, but it starts overflowing. He still doesn't stop. So, Tokusan is asking, what are you doing? It's all overflowing, nothing is staying inside the cup. So Ryutan says, if you want to gain more knowledge, if you want to learn something, you need to empty your cups first. So all of you here on Google Meet and on YouTube, I'm going to ask you to empty your cups. Forget all that you've learned about public speaking before. Keep that aside. Empty your cups and sit with me. We are going to find out how to become public speakers. Now we are the generation that we call ourselves as the NXG, the Gen Y, Gen Z. So I'm going to teach you a modern method with a little of old touch to it. It's called NECS, Neuro Emotional Connecting Speech. I'll tell you how. Don't get scared. It's not rocket science. Before you begin, you introduce yourself first. You don't have to, even if the anchor has introduced you, you always introduce yourself first. Even you don't have to be a big personality. You don't have to have number of degrees and whatnot in your profile. You could be a student. You can say, I come here as a student. You can introduce yourself that way, but always introduce yourself. Let the audience know who is talking to them. And that introduction should be less about you and more towards the audience. I'll tell you how. Now, you don't just say, I am Fazila Fatima and I am this and that, and I'm going to talk on this topic today. No, that's not how you go about it. You say, I am Fazila Fatima, I am this and this, but today I am here as a friend to share with you my knowledge about public speaking, and together let's learn. So you always involve your audience with you. Now, that beginning is everything. The grasping level is only 15 seconds. The first 15 seconds is a do or die situation for all of us. Those 15 seconds decide if the finger of the audience is going to expand the screen or tap to the next tab or going to open the next window. That 15 seconds is important. You are fighting a war in those 15 seconds with giants like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, and whatnot. All it takes is the starting 15 seconds. Now, you would have noticed that when I began, I started with a saying of Bruce Lee, where he says he's ready for any situation. And when the time comes to hit, he does not hit, it hits all by itself. Didn't y'all feel like y'all wanted to know more? You all wanted to stay on the screen and find out. Although we had that technical issue, the ones here on Google Meet wanted to know what I was talking about, right? I want to see thumbs in the comment section. I need to know if you all are with me here. Okay, yes, a lot of you are getting that. Okay, exactly. But that doesn't mean you start off your talk with just randomly anything just because it sounds cool or just because it sounds nice. It can't be anything. It needs to hold values. Now, in what I said, you saw that it spoke about training. And it said that you train yourself so much that when the time comes, you don't need to consciously do anything. You'll automatically start. Now, when we train ourselves to become public speakers, you don't have to keep thinking how you are going to talk. If you train yourself well, you're automatically going to do it. That's how it works. So, in those 15 seconds, how are you going to connect to your audience? I want to see a few of you answer to this question I'm asking. How do you think you can connect to your audience? How do you think? I'm looking at your answers here. Okay. One of you says you want to start with a joke. Okay. What else? How else can you connect with your audience? What do you say? What do you do? Okay, speak clearly. We have someone say speak clearly. Okay. I'll help you out. You connect with your audience only if you have connected with yourself first. Exactly. You connect with yourself first because, ladies and gentlemen, please tell me this. How are you going to give something to someone which you don't even have? You don't even have that with you. How are you going to give it to someone else? How are you going to connect to anyone else if you do not connect to your own self first? I introduced myself calling myself as a self influencer. Now, why did I say that? Have you heard that term before? You've heard social media influencer and all of that, but have you heard self influencer? That's because you need to influence yourself first, and that is a challenge. It may sound simple, but that is a challenge. I'll tell you why. You know, research says a human being has up to 90,000 thoughts going on in your head, out of which more than 90% are negative thoughts. More than 90% are negative thoughts. What if I have sweaty palms? What if I don't talk properly? What if I stammer? Or what if I go mute? What if people can't hear me? What if the video gets cut? What if I forget? What if I stammer? What if the mic falls down? What if the ceiling fan falls on my head? The negative thoughts have no end. I want you all to share with me what negative thoughts are running in your head right now, this moment. Imagine yourself to be, say, a public speaker. What are the negative thoughts that will come in your head? I want to see some of you say that. I want to know what kind of negative thoughts are running in your head right now. Okay, okay. Some bizarre ones. No, that's totally okay. All of us have these negative thoughts going on in our head all the time. The challenge is to tackle these negative thoughts. How is it that every human being has these thoughts, okay, has almost 90,000 thoughts, out of which 90% are negative thoughts? But how is it that some of us are able to tackle it while others are not? The food of two bees is the same, but one may sting while the other honey. Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi. What do you understand from the quote that I just told you? All are bees, all get honey, but there are bees who sting and then there are bees who make honey. Now you tell me, connect the sting to the negative thoughts, connect the honey to positive thoughts. How easy is it to sting? How easy is it to have these negative thoughts? Like, y'all didn't take a second to reply to me and tell negative thoughts that are going on in your head right now. But if I tell you to think of a positive thought, it's going to take some efforts. It's going to make you want to think, okay, maybe this. That is how it is. That's how we tackle it. To sting is easy, to have negative thoughts is easy. But to make honey needs efforts. It needs passion, it needs interest, it needs desire, which all of you already have. Y'all proved by attending today's event that y'all have all of this. You'll have it in you to become a public speaker. So all of you are not just bees who make honey, but all of you are queen bees. Even the men and boys here, y'all are queen bees in character. Because how is one bee able to manage, rule over 35 to 40,000 bees? There are almost 35 to 40,000 bees on an average in a beehive, all controlled by one bee. How is she able to do that? That's because she is able to influence herself. She is able to have that kind of self confidence that she can do it. And she practices it, which is why she is able to do that. So practice what you preach. You first need to practice it. Only then you can preach. Now, okay, I go to teach swimming, for example. Swimming is a very good sport. You need to learn swimming. It's very good for your body. The exercise is really good. It boosts up whatnot in your body, etc., etc. So please go learn swimming. You need to learn to breathe underwater and breathe out. Are you all even with me? I feel like most of you already left for the kind of way I was teaching swimming. How about this? I was really scared of swimming. I'm really scared of water. What if I drown? Even if it is 3 feet, I'm probably not, you know, not so short. The 3 feet is so deep, but still, I'm scared of water. What if I drown? What if I like drink off the water and something happens to me? But then I went. I took up the challenge and I went to these classes. I trained myself. I had that confidence and that urge and that desire to learn that sport. And within 9 to 12 days, I became one with the water. I learned step by step how it is to breathe underwater, how it is to balance your body, how the timing when you need to come out of the water to take a breath. It takes you 9 to 12 days to do that. And you can. So you should take up swimming. I probably drank a bucket of chlorine water during my swimming training, but still, now because I had that experience, I was able to tell you what it is to learn swimming. I was able to do that because I have a personal experience in swimming. So no matter what you talk with confidence and authenticity, and you just keep marching ahead like a cow. You heard me right. I just called all of you here on Google Meet and YouTube, cows. Don't get offended. I'll tell you why. Now, when you see, if you notice a cow on the plowing field, it'll just keep going ahead. It'll just keep going ahead. And obviously, you will know that, in the plowing field, the field is filled with thorns and stones and whatnot. But do you see the cow say, ouch? Or do you see the cow flinch or not able to go ahead? It just keeps going ahead, it just keeps plowing. That's how we need to be. Consider those thorns and stones as the negative thoughts and negative comments that you are scared of. It doesn't matter what people are going to say. As long as you know what you are going to say, you are confident with what you are going to talk, as long as you are able to connect to what you are going to present, it doesn't matter what people are going to say. Be who you are, say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Tell me you got that. Give me a thumbs up and tell me you got what I just said. Those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter, right? So you don't think of what everyone else is going to say. Just keep plowing ahead like a cow. And that's how NECS is established: neuro emotional connecting speech. Ladies and gentlemen, facts tell, but stories sell. And we public speakers are story sellers. Now, I go to the cafe on weekends. I go to my favorite cafe on weekends for a cup of coffee, and I pet a cat there. The end. That's one story. Now, after a long week, long and productive week, especially, during this pandemic with, having to work online, it's pretty hectic with all the work. I just wait for the weekends to go to my favorite cafe on this road to have that coffee, that hazelnut coffee, which is just, I'm serious, is that yum. Now, when I went the other weekend, when I was sipping this yum, super yum cup of coffee, there was this ruffling sound behind me from the bush. And there were this whiskers and paws coming out of it. And I'm an animal lover, so when I see paws, I am just, I'm probably not present in that moment. And to my delight, it was a female cat and a pregnant one. Now I know that female pregnant cats can be aggressive and not very human friendly, but somehow she responds to my pistis because I was holding the cup of coffee in my hand while doing that. So she thought I was offering her that milk. So she immediately came to me and we became friends. After a few weeks, we were on first name basis. I used to call her Nut and she calls me Meow. Yeah, we are friends now. Although she does call me Rrr sometimes when I touch her belly. But I can't wait to go back the next weekend to have my favorite cup of coffee and pet that little pregnant cat and show her some love. Now, I said the same story in two different ways. I want all of you to reply and comment right now what you feel, how you feel about the first story that I said and the second one. Okay? So, you all know the difference. I kept you all hooked on. You all wanted to know what's happening next, what's happening more. You're like, it's a simple story. It was a simple story. I just go to the cafe on weekends to have coffee and I saw a cat there. But how did I say that story? There's a technique to it: situation, character, timeline, morals. You give them a situation. What was the situation? Pandemic. I told you all that, okay, it's a pandemic time, so it's pretty difficult and all of that. Characters. I was a character. There was a cat, a character. Timeline. You understand that it's an evening time. You understand that it's over the weekend, that it's a Saturday or a Sunday. And finally, morals. Now, was it just a story, or were you able to understand that there was a hungry cat, there was a hungry pregnant cat, and how, there was a show of empathy there, how there was a bond created, and how now I can't wait to get back there? Even if it is a simple moral, there still is. Now, I will leave you with the best public speaking tip that I follow personally. Do you all know what a bamboo tree is? Do you all know how it looks? A bamboo tree? Can you all tell me in the comments section if all of you are aware of how a bamboo tree looks like? Okay, okay, yeah. I have a lot of answers. Okay, okay, yes. Correct. So all of you understand that it's a pretty long, tall tree. Do you all know how it grows? Does it magically become that tall? They go up to 90 feet, if I'm not wrong. Do you all know how that happens? For the first 5 years. For the first 5 years, it does not grow out of the soil at all. Hardly. But does that mean the farmer stops, you know, uh, putting water for it and taking care of it and nurturing it. 5 years, ladies and gentlemen, this farmer has sowed the seed but does not, see anything happening. For 5 years, he or she still continues to water, continues to take care of it. Now imagine how many people would be commenting, how many people would be degrading and discouraging him, telling, "What are you growing that it's taking you 5 years? There's nothing there. Stop being stupid about it." Imagine the number of negative comments and own personal comments, negative thoughts too, that a farmer needs to fight, that telling, "No, no, it will grow. My hard work will, flourish. It will grow." Imagine how difficult that must be, but to still keep making efforts. But after those 5 years, that little shoot grows 90 feet tall. That is the kind of efforts that you need to give, and that is the kind of result that you will get. You keep making efforts, you keep going ahead. Do not think of what people are going to say. Do not think of memes, comments, videos getting going on mute and whatnot. It doesn't matter. The more mistakes you make, the more you will learn. The more efforts you make, the taller you will grow. So today we are going to put in our efforts to grow 90 feet tall. So all you amazing public speakers who are attending today's event, we are going to become the Bruce Lees of public speaking. I told you how. You train yourself so much that it does the work. We become cows. We keep plowing, we keep looking ahead, and we keep plowing, not thinking about what others are going to say. We be bees. We self influence ourselves so much that we have control over things. And lastly, we be bamboos. That it's okay if your efforts are not shown, but you keep going for it, you keep going for it, and you will grow 90 feet tall, and the world will look at you, inshallah. And finally, with that, we will become the public speakers that we, all of us here, are dreaming to become. That's how easy it's going to be, with a lot of efforts that goes in. Thank you so much for coming in and listening to me. Next up is the founder of Tuto, Sagar Mohan, who is going to share with you some amazing formulas and tips on public speaking. See you all soon.
Hi everyone, can you all hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can all hear me? Yeah, super good. All right, very good. Hi guys, welcome to Tuto. Welcome to College Talks. I am the founder of Tuto India, and I started Tuto with a vision of giving out a lot of skills to college students, school students, as well as adults. So anyone above the age of 8 has a platform to learn anything and everything that they want to. And very happy that this event has got a lot of attention, and we are both Fazila and I are very happy that all of you have joined us. And yes, let's just get into it. I'm going to speak to you about a little bit of my experience of how and why I want every one of you in college to learn about public speaking, right? So when I joined college back in 2013, yeah, I had just come out of school and joined college, and I was into sports. Yeah, I think must have told you that I was into sports. Yeah. So when I went into college, I saw that a lot of students were not very confident to speak in front of their classmates. Yeah, even like I had a classmate with me, but they never used to speak in front of in front of everyone. Yeah. So when the teacher used to pull them out, give them the textbook. It's not even giving your own answer. They give them the textbook and tell them, here, read this paragraph. Yeah, and I used to find it it was a I mean, this was a shocking experience that I felt that why aren't they able to read from a book? Yeah. Then I also went to other classes because I used to take up a little bit of leadership, positions in college, and I used to go to other classes and speak. and I used to give chances to other people. Yeah, so I used to tell them the other teammates in my group. I used to give them the book. I used to tell them, here, you go and announce it. No problem. I don't want to always go and keep announcing. I don't want to be the face of it. Here, take the information. You go, please announce it. No problem. And I found out they couldn't even stand in front. They said, no, I do not want to take that book. I do not want to speak in front of unknown faces. Yeah, so we used to go to different classes, right? So I started wondering, why is it that people are fearing public speaking so much? Yeah. And then I went and attended a workshop. I was already good at public speaking. I had the confidence and I attended a workshop. Yeah. So this is, I'm building on my skill set. Yeah. So I attended a workshop, which was a 2 day workshop. And I saw that, people there, they were getting trained, and it was really good. The training was very good. And they started off with being comfortable with yourself. Yeah. As Fasila told you told you all very correctly, you need to be comfortable with yourself. So that is the main thing in public speaking. You need to be comfortable with yourself. You need to be comfortable with your own body. Yeah. Only if you feel that you are, settled, you are happy with yourself, only then you can speak to others, you can influence others, or you can also get confidence. I mean, you can, people will have confidence in you. Yeah. So first you should have the confidence with yourself. Yeah. The second thing is, you will have a lot of negative comments, as Fasla also mentioned. You will have comments. People will definitely make fun of you when you're standing on front of the stage, but that is all noise, right? Those are all things that are there to distract you. That should not be something that should be affecting you at all. Yeah. It's very similar to, the cow example. Yeah. When someone is, throwing a paper at you, or even, mocking you, don't worry. There's one person, two people who do not want you to grow. Yeah. They can't do the same thing which you're doing. Yeah. So that is one thing. And now I'm coming back to the technical aspects, or the knowledge aspects of this, session. So the importance of storytelling. So when I spoke about this story that I told you of my own experience, right? What you didn't you think about, okay, this is what happens, this is what is happening in college? Yeah. So many of you would have also related to it, right? You guys would have told, yes, this is what is happening to me, or yeah, I feel like this, or this person speaks well in my school or in my college. Yeah. So this is what I told you a story of my own experience, but I put it in a way, in such a way that you guys were emotionally connected to me. Yeah. So I grabbed your emotions, I grabbed your attention, I grabbed your imagination. Yeah. So that is storytelling. You need to be good storytellers. You need to put your sentences, you need to put your words in such a way that the person who's listening to you, they don't get distracted by anything else. Yeah. So now I'll give you a very easy example. Okay. Now there are a lot. I mean, you are able to hear a lot of different noises from my mic, right? You can hear a lot of traffic of noise. I know you can, and that isn't taking you away, right? You're still focusing on my voice. Yeah, you're able to differentiate between the two noises, that is my voice, as well as the noise that is coming from somewhere else. Yeah. So you are focused on my voice, which is why I'm able to hold your attention with my voice, and I'm giving you a proper eye contact. So I'm looking right into the camera. That means I'm looking right at you, and your eyes are fixed on my eyes, so you're able to see what I am speaking to you directly. Yeah. So that is one way you can get attention, and you can also use the power of storytelling. Yeah. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a public speaker, if you want to be a journalist, if you want to be in front of the camera, you need to be good at storytelling. But if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be any other profession, yeah, or designer, you need to be good at normal public speaking, just not storytelling. Okay. So public speaking and storytelling are not the same, but storytelling requires you to have public speaking skill. Okay. So the other thing what I wanted to tell you was, that Fazila told you the story of the cat. Yeah, the cat and the pregnant cat, which she said, right? She started using emotion to it. Yeah. So when you listen to the word pregnant cat, what happens? What do you think of? Can you put it on the comments, guys? What emotion comes to you when you hear the word pregnant, or pregnant cat, or any pregnant woman also? What is the emotion that goes through? Okay, cute for pregnant cat, cute. Okay, or a cat also cute. What is the emotion that goes through when you hear the word pregnant itself? Yes, very good. Caring, exactly. Yeah. So the word caring. Yeah. So when you hear the word pregnant, you immediately feel an emotion of care. Yeah. So, and she also mentioned that it was a Sunday or a weekend. So what is that emotion? Yeah. You get what storytelling is all about. So what is the emotion for a weekend? Guys, come on, put on the comments. What is the emotion that you get when you listen to the word weekend? I'm looking at your comments. Very good. Happy. Then what else? Yes. Very good. Chill. Yeah. Correct. All these are good. Yeah. So this is what you do exactly. Joy. So you have good emotions. Yeah. Whenever you have storytelling, if you're going to speak to the audience, you need to choose what you want to speak to the audience. Correct. So there's something called as CAP. Yeah. It's a CAP formula. So C stands for clarity, A stands for authenticity, and P stands for power. Yeah. So you guys can note this down. I'll wait. Grab a paper, grab a pen. Yeah. Just write down if you want, or if you don't want, it is live on YouTube as well. You can go there and watch it. But I suggest you guys take a paper, take a pen, write it down, and it'll be really good for you guys to have this information, because whatever information we are putting down here today, if you go outside and learn, is going to cost you a bomb. Yeah. So this is something which we're doing just for the college students and whoever's near and dear to us. And this is something where, outside you go to a professional institute, it's very costly. Okay. So take down a paper and a pen, write down. C is for clarity, A is for authenticity, and P is for power. Yeah. So what is C? What is clarity? Someone can give me an idea what clarity means. What do I mean by C? What comes under C? What do you mean by clarity? Okay. So when you want to address an audience, yeah, clarity information that's provided. Okay. Pronunciation, very good. Have a clear picture, very good. Super. Nice. Yeah. So it is to get the correct information to the correct audience. Yeah. So today, my audience, I can tell my audience age. Yeah. So I can tell my audience age is above. So one person is 11. Yeah. The youngest is 11 years old. Okay. And the maybe the eldest might be 45 or 46. Okay. I can tell you a range, but I can tell you where my highest number of audience group is. So I can tell you that they're college students. Correct. Why? Because this is college talks, and the number of entries are mostly college students. So our speech, both Fazla and my speech, has been prepared in such a way that it addresses your issue. So if I address an issue for a CEO, then it doesn't make sense for me to address such an issue, right? Because I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to the college students. So we need to make sure that we understand who our audience is, and also the purpose for the speech. Yeah. What are you speaking? Why are you speaking? Am I trying to influence? Am I trying to entertain? Or am I trying to persuade? Yeah. So there are three types of speeches. One is influential, one is entertaining, and the other is persuasive. Yeah. Influence you, informative. Sorry, informative, uh, persuasive, and entertaining. Yeah, informative, not influencer. Yeah. So informative is basically just giving out information. Yeah. So we are doing an information speech. Yeah. So I'm giving you information. I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm not telling you to buy something. I'm just giving you information saying that, look, this is what public speaking is all about. Just one. Yeah. So this is what public speaking is all about, and this is the information that I'm giving you. This is information. I don't look to make you buy something. Yeah. Then comes entertaining. Entertaining can be something where we have lot of like a sorry, like a person who does comedy on stage, right? So you have then you have people who do music and all that. That comes under entertaining. Then you have persuasive. Persuasive is when you try to sell something to someone. Yeah. So when you try to get someone to change their mind, it's called influential. Okay. So for example, if someone has some decision up to make and you try to change the decision, then you have to use your persuasive type of speech. Yeah. So now we are going to speak about the nice talk. Okay. So NICE. Okay. It's not nice. It's NICE. NICE talk, which, sorry about that, which is natural, intense, connecting, and emotional. Yeah. So this is where we are going to speak about the nice talk.
Yeah, I think someone muted you.
No issues. Must be a technical error or someone did it. No problem. By
Yeah,
mistake
someone
maybe.
just muted.
All right. So we are doing a nice NIC, nice talk. Okay. Are you all with me? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you in Google Meet.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So we are doing something called as NICE talk. Yeah. NICE is basically natural, intense, connecting, and emotional. Yeah. So natural, intense, connecting, and emotional. So natural is supposed to be you speaking as yourself. Yeah, you don't have to be someone else and speak. You need to be yourself when you speak. You need to understand yourself, and you need to make sure that people are seeing through you. If you are the person on stage, that is not going to work. People are not going to believe you. Yeah. So you need to make sure you when you speak. Yeah. And then you have intense. See the type of intensity we speak. I speak in a different intensity. Fazila speaks in a different intensity. Yeah. But we both go in a flow. Correct. We don't lose that flow at any time. Someone mutes me, I don't lose my flow. That is, you don't have to lose your flow at all. If you make a mistake, don't make I mean don't make sure you don't go back and correct your mistake and then say, oh, I'm sorry, this is what happened, all that. Don't worry, just go in a flow. Later, if someone asks you, you said this, what is it, then you say that I was going in a flow, so I made that mistake. I know that I made some small mistake in a name or something like that. It's all right, no problem, just keep going in a flow. Yeah. If it is someone big, if you're speaking about someone, quoting someone or something, it is best that you immediately correct your mistake during your speech. Yeah. And then you have connecting. You need to connect with your audience. You need to make sure that you connect with the audience. And how you connect with the audience? You connect with the audience by making sure that you know your audience. Yeah. You need to be connecting. You need to be always closing. Yeah. So you need to always be closing. Okay, so you need to always be closing. Yeah, by closing in the sense, I mean that you need to speak to the point. You don't have to go all the way around the point. Unless and until you're doing storytelling, the story also should be to your point. Yeah, you don't need to go all around and then finish somewhere, and then you come to a conclusion. I mean, you give a the thought for the day like type, and you tell something else. Yeah, so it should be your story should have something that you want to talk of. Okay. And then emotional or entertaining, I've already spoken about this. You should be entertaining or you should be emotional. Yeah, you should make sure that you grab your audience's emotions. Yeah. And then you have authenticity. I spoke for C has purpose, then it has nice talk, and it also has the message. So what message you want to give the audience? Yeah, I spoke about that as well. So what kind of audience you have and what kind of message you want to give. Yeah, so the message can also be the same thing, informative. You want it to be entertaining or you want to be persuasive, is the same thing. Yeah. Then we go to A, authenticity. C is over. Now we are coming to A. Yeah, authenticity. Yeah. So you need to be authentic with your speech. Okay, you cannot take someone else's speech. I cannot take Fazla's speech and tell you the same thing. Yeah, you need to be authentic. I need to give you the information that I have to you so that you feel that you have learned something from this session. Yeah, Fazila is giving you a lot of session. I mean, lot of information. I need to make sure that my content is totally different. It should not be different. It should be something which I have experienced, and it should be also different from what she has said. Yeah. So it should be genuine and it should be spontaneous. So when you're doing storytelling, you cannot think of the story before. Yeah. You can just think about what you want to speak about. Yeah. But you cannot think in every detail. I've missed so many details of what I want to tell you, but that is all not required for you to know so that so that I come to my conclusion of the story. Yeah. So if I tell you all the information, then it's going to be totally you guys will quit and go. Yeah. So I am speaking spontaneously on my story so that you are staying with me and for the content that I'm providing. Yeah. The main thing here is content, guys. You need to be giving content. Okay. Then you should be inspiring. Yeah. So when I spoke about the college students, you guys were okay, this is what is happening, I should also, I told you, right? I went for a workshop. Even though I know public speaking, I'm good at public speaking, I went for a workshop, correct? And that was a paid workshop. And that is at that time you guys were like, okay, I know a little bit of public speaking, why am I not going? Yeah. Or I don't know any public speaking, why am I not going for a workshop? Yeah. Or I should take a workshop, this is a good skill to have, and all that. Yeah. Then you should provide value to your audience. You should definitely provide some kind of value to take home. Yeah. And always remember, guys, I am a person who believes that the mind is the greatest asset. Yeah. Today, tomorrow, during the pandemic, many people have lost their jobs, but people who have the knowledge in their mind, yeah, the designers, yeah, the influencers, the motivation speakers, people who have the information in their mind are top. You understand? They have the asset in their mind. If you lose your job, no problem, I can still do it by giving talks, I can still do it by making designs, I can still do it by using the knowledge in my mind, yeah, or the skill in my mind. Okay. So these are the type of skills that are very important in life, and also to take your to take yourself to the next level in any field that you are in. Okay. Then you have P, which is power. Okay. Now, the type of the way of speaking. Okay. The way of speaking, the way I speak, is with a different kind of power, and the way it hits you is totally different from the way Fazla speaks or any other person speaks. Each person has their own power. You won't be able to find all the public speakers in the same power. I've seen a lot of public speaking people, public speakers, and they have when they go on stage, their energy changes from what they were on, off stage. Yeah. But I've also seen speakers who have the same amount of power offline as well as on stage. Yeah. So you need to make sure that the power is there within you, and always to make sure that if you need that attention from the audience, you need to put that power in. Okay. And then you should have a lot of control on your speech. Okay. So in this talk, yeah, I might have lost my control once or maybe twice, but you need to make sure that the control is always there, your flow is always there. So that's why I said flow is very important. Your flow is your control. So whenever you're going right in a speech, you need to know what you're going to speak about. You need to plan, you need to make sure that you know, or you create a schedule, or you create a timetable as to where you know what you're going to speak next. Okay. So that is one thing. And the other is body language and eye contact. Very, very important. If I sit like this and speak to you, how is it going to be? You guys are not going to listen to me for sure. If I slouch like this, or if I sit like this and speak, if I sit like this, I'm going to speak like this. I'm going to speak to you very directly. I'm going to speak to you with confidence like this. And I'm also providing good eye contact with all of you. Yeah. That is why I'm not looking at anyone's screen, my screen on the bottom. I'm looking at the camera on the top. Yeah. So I'm looking at the camera because that is the place where if I see through the camera, I make eye contact with you. So you look at the screen and you see that I'm looking at you. Yeah. So that is also a very important feature that you will have to have. Okay. So now you know CAP. Now we are going to try to understand what happens when you omit one of them. Okay. So when you omit C, I mean, when you omit P and you have only C and A, just one second, there's someone entering. Yeah. Yeah. So when you don't have P, you don't have power, but you have C and A, which is clarity as well as authenticity, you become a weak speaker. Yeah. So it's very simple. So if I'm sitting like this and I'm speaking, no one's going to listen to me and everyone's going to think I'm weak. I don't have, I mean, if you speak a little bit with little bit more better body language, I'm going to not be able to counter back, or I'm not going to be able to speak to you back. Yeah. Otherwise, if you have C and P and don't have A, which is you have control, I mean, you have clarity as well as power, but don't have authenticity, then you're confusing speaker. Okay, so you're confusing the audience. You're also confused about what to say. Okay, but if you have a P and A and don't have C, then you're a duplicate speaker. So you don't have you don't have enough content, or you are taking content from somewhere and giving the same content back to people, right? So you need to make sure that you have all three to be a really good public speaker, and also ensure that you are prepared for any speech. Yeah. If you're not prepared, for any speech, it is going to fail. You cannot go and sit 2 minutes, 5 minutes before and get content from the person who is making the content and speak. You need to have content. You need to make sure that your content is ready at least 2 to 3 days before. Yeah. So for this speech, I had prepared my content about 2 months ago. I had content 1 month ago also, and I kept creating content for this, for not only this, for all the public speaking talks that we have. Content is ready, but I can't use the same content every time. Yeah, I need to make sure that my audience gets something new every time they come on board. Yeah, so this is what public speaking is all about, and we are definitely happy. Yes, Taha said very rightly on the comments. All right, so I'm putting all of you forward, Fazila Fatima, and she's going to summarize the event. And thank you all for listening to me. And I'll be coming back after Fazila finishes the summary, just for a small launch of something called as the debate track. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Fazila and Sagar. That was one amazing session. Like, my mind is totally blown. And I would like to add a few points, like how you guys must have noticed how Fazila was using examples for each of thing, like she used for cow or bamboos. So let me tell you guys that are the characteristics of a very good speaker, and you can learn from that. You can observe people around you, and how Sagar said that sometimes you should let go things natural. You should be yourself, and how each element of speech contributes to a good speech. How you can add bits of empathy and humor sometimes. So thank you so much, Sagar and Fatima. And now we can have a quick Q&A session. You guys can put in your questions in the chat box. Okay, so we have a question. Taha Sayed says, how do you practice public speaking now? Doesn't seem practical to gain confidence in this way. Yeah, so how can our viewers gain practical experience in this? Rightly said, Fatima. And we don't have any more questions. Also, I guess our viewers need to understand how sometimes we should understand that it's okay to go wrong sometimes. No one is perfect. That's the fear we have, like before speaking. What if I go wrong? What if people say this and that? It's okay to do mistakes sometimes. So, guys, you can put in more questions.
I would like to add to Fasila's point over there. So has she said that you guys need to have a certain level of imagination also when you're doing public speaking, because even when you do and when even when you have to do your storytelling or do a public speaking session, or you're going and hosting an event, yeah. So you need to be able to imagine what your audience is going through. Yeah, you need to imagine what the audience emotions are. You need to imagine what words you use, what impact will happen on your audience. Yeah, it's very simple. I mean, it's very simple, and it cannot it's the same thing online. When I see a lot of people now, now we have 34 people sitting here, and I think I mean, in the Google Meet, and we have around 10 or 12, Fazila, yeah, on on YouTube. Yeah. So what is this? How am I going to impact my audience? That's the first thing what I think about. Yeah. First, I think about how am I going to impact? What information do I have that will keep my audience with me? Yeah. If I don't have the information, yeah, the audience will not be with me. Any audience, let it be online, let it be offline. Yeah. Second, then you need to see about how you're going to put it online. Yeah. First, you need to understand, you need to know what information you have that people will stick with you. Second will be that you need to see how you want to connect with an online audience. So that's what I was trying to tell you, that when you have the offline, I mean, when you have the online, sessions like this, you need to make sure that you connect eye to eye, that is camera to your eye. Yeah, so I look at camera, you look at my eyes. Yeah, that is the main solution to how you can keep your audience with you, and use your imagination and think that all these 34 people are sitting with you. As an audience, they are sitting with you, they're right beside you, but you just can't see them. Yeah.
Yeah, rightly said, Sagar. And we have another question by Taha Sayed. He says, what are some books or YouTube channels you recommend? So he has given his personal suggestions. Yeah, a few of the personal suggestions, and then you can suggest.
So I don't suggest any books or YouTube channels, because I suggest in practice. I suggest practice. Yeah. So I suggest you put yourself in difficult situations. Only then you grow. Correct. So that is one of the quotes which Tuto follows. Yeah. So Tuto is a very challenging organization. Has I think all of you would have received the mail. Yeah. So in the mail you would have read, right, that none of the institutes in India will never challenge you like how Tuto will ever do. Yeah. So you guys need to challenge yourself. That is one thing which I did in college, and I keep doing. I keep challenging myself. I take up difficult situations, and then I learn about myself and I grow. Yeah. So that is one way that all college students, you should do that. It is a personal recommendation for you. Don't stick around comfort zone. The more you lie down in your comfort zone, you'll swim up. Keep trying to challenge yourself, put yourself into difficult situations, learn about yourself, uh, understand who you are. Yeah, the one thing you need to do is understand who you are to be the best possible.